Mariners win 7-5. They improved to 72-56 on the season. They take the first game against the Kansas City Royals. And guess what, folks? You are now tied for the American League Western Division lead. Your Seattle Mariners are tied for first place right now. Let's go over how it happens real quick, and then I'll issue a caveat about everything that happened today. JP Crawford hits a absolute monster home run on, I believe, the very first pitch of the game that he saw anyway, and any Mariners saw, since it's the bottom of the first. 1-0. Rally singles home Julio. 2-0 in the first. Royals get 3. Velasquez singles home Perez. Melendez scores on a pickoff attempt by Miller that apparently wasn't very good. We'll talk about apparently in a second. Isbell singles home Velasquez 3-2. But the Mariners get 2 in the fourth on an Eugenio Suarez single. And the Mariners get 2 more in the fifth with Hernandez scoring on a wild pitch and Josh Rojas singling home Dominic Canzone 6-3. 7th inning, Kansas City gets a couple. Kyle Isbell homers off of Matt Brash. They say it went 396 feet. The highlights suggest it went much further than that. And then Eugenio Suarez gives the Mariners some insurance with a double in the 8th to make it 7-5. Before we get into the positives and negatives, let's thank the good people of Simply Seattle for sponsoring the show. And I can't not only thank them enough, I can't recommend them enough. And I'm a little biased because, they sponsor this show and they sponsor Molly Watt Monday, 2 things that I'm awfully passionate about and appreciate getting to do an awful lot. But anything Seattle sports related, they've got Seahawks, Mariners, Sonics, Huskies, Storm, Kraken, whatever you're looking for, they have at Simply Seattle. And it's not just hats, it's t-shirts, it's all sorts of great stuff. They've got some great homemade stuff as well. The Griffey Logo Man shirt is one of my favorite things to wear. There's the great Julio hoodies. There's the Shohei Ohtani shirt. There's the Big Dumper shirt. There's a ton of great Kraken stuff as well that's individually made. I cannot recommend them enough. And also, if you want to save 15% on your order, all you have to do is use code MOLLYWOP15 at checkout. That's MOLLYWHOP 15, and that will save you 15%. Thank you so much, Simply Seattle. Can't recommend them enough. Okay, here's the major negative of this game. I didn't get to watch it. I didn't watch a single second of it. I saw a bunch of highlights, which is nice. I like highlights. I watched SportsCenter as a kid every single night. But I didn't get a great feel for this game, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about how guys looked. It's more going to be just about what happens tonight. That'll probably happen again at some point. Apple TV games are going to be really tough for me. I'm not going to get into it, but Apple TV games are going to be really, really tough for me. What I did get to see of Bryce Miller in terms of highlights was shaky. He caught a lot of the plate tonight. He was the opposite of effectively wild. There was just too many pitches in the zone. His defense didn't help him. He didn't help himself. Very mediocre start. Against the lineup, I know Kansas City's 41-89 and not good. Every hitter on that team is kind of scary in its own way. Like, Bobby Witt Jr. is obviously a superstar, and Salvador Perez is not far removed from having one of the best seasons as a catcher we've ever seen in terms of hitting homers anyway. But there's just a lot of pesky in there. And if you catch a lot of the plate, they can do damage against you. The reason they're 41-89 is their pitching just is absolutely abysmal, especially the bullpen. And they've had some offensive struggles here and there as well. And they've certainly played better lately than they did at the beginning of the season. They passed the eye test more lately anyway, too. But this was not Bryce Miller at his best. And unfortunately for Bryce Miller, as a rookie pitcher who was in Double-A 3 months ago, there's a lot of pressure on you now, kid. A lot of pressure, because you are the clear-cut 4th starter for a team that is beyond competing for a playoff spot. He's got to be better than he was tonight. Offensively, I don't think there's really any negatives to talk about here. Mike Ford struggled, although he did hit a ball fairly far, it looked like, on the box score or on the little play-by-play thing. So that's good, but he didn't get a hit. Dylan Moore strikes out in both of his at-bats after he pinch hits for him. But there's a lot of positives for this offense. Real quickly, though, I want to talk about how good the bullpen was. And yes, Brash struggled. Brash gives up the 2-run homer, and they have to turn to Saucedo, who does the job. It didn't look like the pitch Brash made was a terrible pitch. I mean, it was right on the inside corner and good for Isbell for turning on it. But he's got to miss more bats. We have to have Matt Brash striking dudes out. Yeah, we talk about the batting average and balls in play with the bad luck and all that stuff. But when Matt Brash is at his best, he's missing bats. He's striking dudes out. And some of this is regression to the mean a little bit. You can't have a strikeout rate over 18 the way he did so late. But we need Matt Brash to be better. The nice thing is we don't need him to be that much better because Justin Topa is a beast. He's a problem, folks. 2.06 ERA now, and I know reliever ERA can be super flawed. He's not the best at missing bats, but he initiates so much weak contact. He's so hard to square up. I don't think we can give enough credit. I know I seem to talk about it every dang video, but I don't think we can give enough credit to them for picking up Topa and Spire, who Spire was terrific tonight as well, apparently. The line sure is terrific anyway. And Andres Munoz, it says he gives up the 2 walks, and they do load the bases. I thought it was absolutely the right call to intentionally walk Bobby Witt Jr., by the way. You're not pitching to Bobby Witt Jr. if you don't have to. Bobby Witt Jr., he only goes 1 for 4 today, but he hits that triple. He's a star. He's an absolute star. Everybody in Seattle tonight can tell their children and their great-grandchildren, or their grandchildren too. They don't have to skip a step. They can tell everyone that they got a chance to see Bobby Witt Jr. playing against Julio Rodriguez. I'm that confident in both of them becoming really, 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 really good players. They're already pretty dang good, but that's something you're going to be able to tell your kids about for sure. I just want to see Munoz use that fastball more. It's a good fastball. I looked it up afterwards, by the way. I went on my big rant about him blowing the save against the White Sox. And yeah, his slider has more value, according to runs saved, than his 2-seam sinker. But he's using it so much more. I think you've got just throw the heater, man. If you're healthy enough to do so, if you have the arm strength to do so. And I realize some of this is about saving that too. But that fastball is such a great pitch, man. Use it. Use it more. Gets the job done tonight. And offensively, there's so many awesome games here. Just JP Crawford reaches 4 times, including the homer. Julio reaches 3 times and steals a base. Suarez gets 3 hits and drives in 3 runs. Big Dumper gets 3 hits and drives in a run. Canzone gets a couple of hits and scores a couple of runs. Rojas gets a big RBI single. Excellent offensive effort. Awesome. No complaints. It's worth pointing out that Brady Singer dominated this lineup the last time he faced it. 6 1/3 no-hit innings. So the Mariners were due to be better. They got 9 hits off the guy. Really, I mean, again, I didn't get to watch it, but from the highlights and from everything I heard, solid effort. Solid effort. The last time your Seattle Mariners were tied for first place in August was August 26, 2003. That's 20 years ago, folks. 20 years have passed since the Seattle Mariners have been tied for first place this late in the year. And we want to give our thanks to the Minnesota Twins. We want to give our thanks to the Detroit Tigers. We want to give our thanks to the Cleveland Guardians. And we want to give our thanks to the Kansas City Royals. We give a lot of crap to the AL Central, and with good reason. But they were awful helpful tonight, folks. They were awful helpful tonight. 80% of the division helping you out. I have no idea what happened between White Sox Athletics. Who cares? Zero impact on the Seattle Mariners. It's all in front of you. You literally are in first place with 34 games to go. So I just want to play a little game here. You're tied for first place. Texas is struggling. Houston has been off and on. How many wins do you think it takes to win the division? Of these 34 games left, how many do you think, if I win this many, I know I'm winning the division? Because it's not 18. And in fact, it's funny. It was kind of this race to 90 wins. We talked a bunch about it. Get to 90 wins and you're going to feel pretty good. 90 wins isn't going to get it done. It'll get you that wild card spot. But folks, at this point, anything but a division championship, and maybe this is just me, anything but winning the division title is going to come across as a disappointment. Anything but winning that division is going to be disappointing to me. I'll take the wild card. I'll be extremely happy to see the Mariners playing in the postseason. I'm not so jaded that I can't appreciate that. 21 years of waiting for this team to make the postseason will make you appreciate it a lot. But appreciating and accepting, I guess would be the right word, are two different things. Settling, that's the word I want. I'm not settling for the wild card. No one should be. So how many wins is it going to take of those 34? I think if you can go 22-12 over these final 34, and that's hard, but not impossible, especially with the way they're playing right now. If you can get to the 22 wins and you can go 94 and 68. Did I do the math wrong here? No, 94 and 68. You're winning that division. It'd be probably better. I mean, 95, real 94, 95, who cares? I don't think 90 to 92 are going to do it. I don't know why. They might. But 90 wins now just means that you play 2 games over 500 for the rest of the year. Folks, that's not good enough. It is not good enough. And the fact that's not good enough is awesome. It's beyond awesome. Tied for first place. By the way, August 26th, 2003, like I said, a special day. It's my mom's birthday. So I want to wish a very happy birthday to my mommy, who turns, we'll leave the age out of it because maybe she doesn't want people to know. But yeah, happy birthday, Mom. I owe you everything. Love you very much. Tomorrow, we've got Logan Gilbert against Mariner hero Jordan Lyles. I won't go over the story again about why he's a Mariner hero, but advantage Mariners. Advantage Mariners. First place. First place. It's tied, but it's first place. Forgot to look how much they're up in the wild card now. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should be like Jay Buhner and say bad word the wild card and just not pay attention to it. But I think they're a game and a half now up over Toronto, maybe 2. No, they're a game up over the Astros, and then Toronto is 2.5 games back of Seattle. Wow. What's interesting? No, that's incorrect. Yeah, 2.5 games back. Boston's 4.5 games back, and everybody else is double digits and doesn't matter. It's too late at this point. First place, August 26th, August 25th, 2023. Nearly 20 years on the dot since the last time you were in this position. Where were you on August 25th, 26, 2023 or 2003. I'm bad at this. I don't know where I was, but it was probably not anywhere good. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. We are so close to 1,000. Make sure you check out my greatest hit video. The latest one is on the top 10 outfielders of all time. You just go into my playlist and take a look at that. The winner, or when we get to 1,000 and you follow the directions of that video, the winner. Well, I guess the winner, somebody in that section, somebody in that comment section is going to win a Julio Rodriguez autograph rookie card. Got it right here. Look at that, baby. Isn't that gorgeous? The reason for the Tops thing on the top, by the way, is because it was a redemption. So I had to get it mailed to me. That's the funnest game I can remember not watching. Follow me on Twitter at Crawford_MILB. Sports Sometimes podcast. The one I did with Levi Weaver on Thursday is just one of the most fascinating conversations I've had in my life. Cannot recommend it enough. You can find that anywhere you can get podcasts. And also, please check out, I just started this week, the Fantasy Fire and Ice podcast for the good people of Sportstopia. I'm hosting that every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with my buddy Drew Silva. Thursday and Friday with my buddy Drew Silva. And then on Wednesdays, I'll be with the great Sarah Sanchez. So excited for that. Would really appreciate you guys checking that out. I'll post a link in the bottom. But yeah, it's a new startup, but there's some very talented people working for it, and also me. Self-deprecating humor is fun. First place. The Seattle Mariners are tied for first place. How about that?